Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for All About Android is provided by CacheFly at CacheFly.com.
This episode of All About Android is brought to you by LegalZoom. Take control of your family's future and get the legal help you need. Visit LegalZoom.com and enter AAA at checkout for special savings. And by IT Pro TV, an easy, entertaining approach to online IT training. Visit itpro.tv/allaboutandroid and use code AAA30 for a free 7-day trial and 30% off the lifetime of your account. And by ZipRecruiter. Are you hiring? With ZipRecruiter.com, you can post to 200 plus job boards, including social networks, all with a single click. Screen, rate, and hire the right candidates fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/twit. Hello and welcome to another episode of All About Android. This is episode 300. 300 episodes of All About Android, recorded on Tuesday, January 10th, 2017. We're your weekly source for the latest news, hardware, and apps for the Android faithful. I'm Jason Howell.
I'm Ron Richards for the 300th time.
And I'm Florence Ion. I'm not sure what time this is.
For you.
Oh, jeez.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm filming it.
Oh, wow, you are.
No,
man.
Oh, then they're done. So, Flo, for those who are just listening to the show, Flo
Is
is
a
wearing
millennial.
spectacles.
Wearing spectacles.
The official badge of millennials everywhere.
I like
Official
how
badge.
it's typical millennial to take a big landmark episode like the 300th episode and just steal the thunder with some bright pink
I'm stealing your
sunglasses.
thunder with my rotating LED light,
I'm
which
stealing
shows that
your
I'm
thunder,
recording.
10-second video at a time.
I'm so glad that in person they do look ridiculous.
But
It's
they do block out
confirmed.
the sun, so I will say, well, that's nice.
Well, you've got like styling on it on the side.
Yeah, these are
and
really
stuff.
nice. These are really like.
That throw that in the product camera.
But
This
you
is
know
no
what?
joke. This is
Mine are already scratched up thanks to the CES.
yeah, whatever. That's okay. Show the bands though, because that's flashy.
And this is what it looks like when you're recording. So if somebody comes up with you with this little light, run as fast as you possibly can in the opposite direction.
Because nothing's better than 10-second video of people running away.
Yes,
Is why.
precisely.
that should be a whole Snapchat account.
really
people
That's
people
actually
running
a
away
great
from
idea.
me.
People running away the second you start recording with your spectacles.
lazy
Okay, yay, nay. Are you liking them?
Well, so I'm working on the semi-review retrospective for Android Central right now, and it has its ups and its downs. But you know what? These were actually made for Android first, and they're actually kind of a pain in the butt to pair with iOS for some reason. People just have problems with iOS.
I should. Could I try?
No, don't
Could-
even. Don't
Could I
do
try?
it. Don't
'Cause
do it.
I
Don't do it.
have an iPhone 7 here. Could I try pairing it with
We'll try after the show,
with
just
my
in
iPhone
case.
with my
What a-
iPhone
just
7?
in case.
What a train wreck of a 300th episode. Seriously, we're like less than 5 minutes in, and Florence is just ignoring the 300th episode, playing with Snapchat glasses, and you're using an iPhone. What is going on?
I know everything is so bad.
I don't know if
Am I
you've
the
noticed.
only one?
I don't know if you've noticed, Ron, but I've got a new wearable on my wrist.
It actually looks really good on you, I will say.
It's literally like you're trying to hurt my feelings. That's what it feels like. That's what it's like. Like all of Twit has conspired. How
What
can we
is
get drive
this
Ron
UI?
crazy?
I don't know. And doing it backwards is not doing it any favors.
It's a stupid UI, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's really hard to
the
use.
touch
right?
points are really small.
This is all about Androids. This is a safe space.
Safe
Safe
space.
space. It's just
Not
me,
anymore.
you, Ron, and
I should.
everybody
Do you,
else.
do you want to explain to listeners who don't know what the
Yeah.
hell's going on?
I definitely want to explain.
Please,
Thank you.
please.
So basically, Megan Maroney and I, we do Tech News Today on the network. We've been planning for months at some point to do an official switch. I've only ever lived with Android in my smart device world, my
As you
smartphone
should.
world, for however many years it's been at this point. Megan has had Android in her past, but she's been dedicated to iOS platform the last 2 or 3 years and couldn't possibly fathom, I imagine, I'm expecting would be her words, to switch over to Android. But we wanted to try and live a month in the other person's shoes. So I have her iPhone 7 and Apple Watch. She has my Google Pixel phone and
Moto 360.
first generation Moto 360, which is kind of
Are you trying
humorous.
to make us lose in this equation?
It's the only one I got. It's the wearable I have. The only other wearable I have is like that initial Samsung one, which I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, no.
I think between the two, Moto 360 wins.
I actually like the nature of the swap. I like the Freaky Friday aspect of it. It's just you couldn't have waited a week.
No, you do it when the time is right, and the time is now.
It's right after CES.
Well,
Yeah, exactly.
And then the silver lining is hopefully by the end of this adventure, we will embrace you back with our green Android arms, and we will have converted Miss Maroney.
You one would think, however, I have noticed ever since I've started with iOS that I'm really popular here at work. Lots of people want to talk to me, and
That's what happens when you buy an Apple
we
product.
stand around and we talk about like what you can do with your phone. It's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah. Is it what's life like without a headphone jack?
That's a great question. I was at home and I wanted to listen to something. I was like, dongle! I didn't have the dongle. I don't have the dongle, so that's a view into
boy.
my
All
future.
right. Well, can we get back to the fact that this is the 300th
Yes.
episode?
All right, fine. 300 episodes. We've done this for a long time. There you go.
300
Jason,
episodes.
is
That's
not-
one episode
listen.
a week.
Okay,
every
let's see.
week.
Let's
I'm
for-
very sentimental. I get very emotional at these kind of landmarks. And how many years now, Jason? Is it?
Well,
It's 6 years,
Our
5
first
years?
our first official episode was March 28th, 2011. That was episode
Okay.
1. We had, I don't know, 6, 7, or 8 alpha and beta episodes prior to that.
I remember
I
that.
think that started in January. It was like shortly after New Year that we started the alpha and beta episodes.
Yep.
And then, March 28th, 2011, started things off. Here we are.
There I am. There I am in the little square. I remember
Oh
that.
my
Yeah.
goodness.
There's Ron in the little square. Back then, the TriCaster was it was a little toy
Wait, is
compared
this,
to what we
was
have
this
now.
Leo's office?
This was at the cottage.
At the
So
cottage.
Every show was in Leo's office.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's pretty funny at the beginning of the episode.
Oh God,
Eileen
that
shows
interface.
Eileen shows off her Motorola Zoom. She's like,
It had
I've got
just
the
come
Zoom.
out. It had just come out,
Yeah.
right? It was like the new sexy.
And we were all really excited about the Zoom. We were like, oh man, that's so nice.
Such a blast from the past.
Yeah. There you go. Joshua Caleb makes his appearance on
Oh
episode 1.
my.
There at my old apartment. Oh, that's nice.
I remember that apartment. See,
Yeah.
we've come a long way.
I'm a long, long way. I got a Google Home now and a wreath that we refuse to take down.
Why take it down? It's decorative.
Yeah, but no. So what? So this is year. Geez, I can't do math now. Year 6. Gosh.
Yeah, almost 6 years. Well, 6 years if you count the alpha and beta episodes. Wow.
Right.
You should.
And
Those are hard work.
important fun trivia fact. While this is the 300th episode, no single host has been here for all 300 episodes.
You mean
Yeah,
day in and day out, episode
day in
after
and day
episode?
out. Yeah, we've all taken off and all the stuff like that.
Oh, for sure,
So,
for sure.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, we're not monsters.
Yeah, wow, that would be a tall feat. 300 straight episodes without missing
Take a
anything.
vacation.
Yeah, get out
Get
for a
out.
change. Jeez.
Well, good job, Jason. Flo. Congratulations, guys.
Good job to all of us.
Brian, you deserve it.
Man,
Yeah,
we
good job.
rule. 6 years. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Let's go for 10.
let's go for another 6.
Yeah.
See what
yeah.
Android turns into 6 years from now.
Oh,
And we'll be
God.
looking back at this and we'll be going, they thought the ZTE Axon 7 was awesome. That's just the phone I have here. But also the Pixel and others.
And pretty soon it'll be baked into our heads.
Actually, no, you know what we'll be saying? We'll be saying, yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, it'll be a wearable, as in implanted into our eyes. We'll be talking about the Note 7 6 years from now, going, oh, I remember that.
Do you guys
Well,
remember?
I think what's also interesting is that in 6 years, well, I'm not going to count the number of TDs we've gone through, Brian. But Jason, how old are your children?
Is almost 7 and 3.5.
Your children
Okay, so
are-
we've added one child in our tenure.
Yeah.
We've added we've rotated through 3 co-hosts. We've added
Ultimately
one.
landing
We've
on
churned
me
through.
somehow.
Yeah, we've churned through 3 co-hosts. We've added Flo got married, right? I mean, like life change. You know, the twit has moved twice
Ron got
in our
engaged.
tenure. Yeah, I got engaged. Yeah, it's just amazing. So yeah. So
And a
Life goes
lot of
on.
phones. And a lot
life
of
goes
phones.
on, and Android persists.
That's right.
One
Yeah.
constant in life. is Android.
Is Android. The one thing I can always depend on is Android, except, of course,
For security
for the time
updates?
that I
Oh.
swapped my Android device for an iPhone.
On our anniversary.
On our anniversary.
Milestone. Our milestone day.
Well, can't say it isn't memorable.
Well, what else did it take 300 episodes to have happen, Jason?
Oh, well, okay, so we've got a lot to discuss, of course. We're going to be talking about Android goodies from CES, more of them. You were there, Flo, so you've probably got a lot to share. More Daydream compatible devices, more Google Assistant support, and more. But it only took 300 episodes to kill Froyo. That's right. New distribution numbers released, and guess what isn't there for the first time? Froyo.
It melted. It finally melted.
It finally fizzled away. I mean, if there's
Sprinkles
one,
and all.
if there is, okay, if no host has been on every episode of 300 episodes of All About Android, a version number has, and that is Froyo.
Oh, that's very.
Froyo has
that's
been
very
around
poignant. That's
since
true.
episode 1. It is now gone on episode 300. Kind of crazy timing, but there you go.
That's pretty
Google
cool.
did it intentionally.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Hiroshi
Google
knew.
does this.
He was like, "This has to happen for the 300th episode of All About Android."
Google
I got to look out for my gang, for my
Yeah.
AAA gang.
Yeah.
We got to give them something.
Friend of the show, Hiroshi Lockheimer.
Good. Yes. Hopefully, repeat guest.
I think that's how we have to refer to him from now on.
I think we have to, actually. I forgot that's what you do in podcasts.
Yeah.
The minute you have someone on your
Exactly.
show, they are from
They're a
that
friend
point
of the show.
forward referred to
Friend of
as
the
friend
show.
of the show. That's what you do. I can't believe we let that slip.
for so
thanks for
long.
the
Thank
reminder.
God
I know.
Flo is here.
I know.
Thank gosh.
My Snapchat specs.
All right, we've celebrated 300 enough, but that doesn't mean that we won't celebrate it anymore. But I don't want to rob Brian of his opportunity to jump into the news.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's been 300 episodes, can you believe it? We sure can't. But don't worry, we've still got Android news.
One thing has not changed. Did I put the scratch on this iPhone?
Oh.
Already?
That's why you don't swap phones with your coworkers who sit right next to you.
Actually, when I got it, it had some decent scratches on it. I just don't know about that one.
Hey,
Whatever.
maybe you should go. Maybe you should
It's
go
not mine.
outside and pretend that it's your Nexus 6P.
Maybe what I should do is take it out of the case.
It's actually raining
And-
outside,
and then
but good for
trip.
you. It's water resistant this time.
This is how I get out of the experiment. I take it out of
Yes.
the case and I go for a walk.
Good idea.
You know what I mean? And oops, I guess I have to have my phone back.
Let that tall, whatever you are, stature, height, work to your advantage. There you go.
That's right. Put it
All
to
right.
work.
Well, let's talk about the news. So as we mentioned last week was CES. Florence was there. She
Was.
survived. Did you get sick?
Nope.
Oh, good job.
I brought my
That's-
humidifier and
That's the way to
I
do
did
it.
I did a whole cleansing ritual every night.
You brought did you bring your crystals and you got the
your
sage
I
brush?
did bring my
and you-
crystals.
Yeah.
I did bring essential oils. Do
Oh,
not
God.
know
Oh,
me by
anyway.
now.
Google didn't bring Sage or essential oils, but they did bring Android TV to CES.
Yeah.
They announced that they're going to be bringing Google Assistant to Android TV. And if you've been living in a cave for the past couple of weeks, Google Assistant is the technology that powers Google Allo, as well as our lovely Google Homes that we all love. And by bringing Assistant to Android TV, a couple interesting things happens. You can play content with voice search and discover content that way by talking to it. You can get answers to questions. You can control your smart devices and all the other great things that Assistant can be used for. And what's even more interesting is that, and Android Police picked up on this as well as a couple other outlets, it keeps a continuous conversation mode on Android TV, which is something that I've been frustrated with Google Home because you ask it a question and it answers and then conversation's over, but sometimes you want a follow-up question or whatnot. So now the mic stays open after you say the initial OKG trigger word and will stay active to keep it conversational and flowing if there are follow-up questions. So you can say, OKG, load up JFK on Netflix and what other movies is Kevin Costner in? And you can build a conversation with Assistant as opposed to just doing a call and response as Assistant has been up to this point, which makes one wonder if we're going to be getting that on other devices other than Android TV. I hope so.
What do you mean
and
other devices? Do you mean like other non-Android devices or?
No, Google Home. Like I want continuous conversation on Google Home.
Oh, yeah.
That would be nice.
Period. So Google says the Assistant is also coming to Wear 2.0, Android Auto, which we speculated about last week, Jason, if you remember, as well as other types of devices. So Assistant is just blowing up on the Google side of things. What do you guys think of this? Are you excited?
Well, as I called Assistant today, it essentially is the Holy Spirit of Google.
I saw that.
I mean, it's just like I thought, first of all, it was very interesting, the quiet proliferation of Android TV at CES. Like, what? Oh, that's right, Android TV.
I know, right?
About
I was really happy to see that as a fan of Android TV, and I feel like, Jason, we talked a lot about that Air TV box last week when we were on TNT, and also on All About Android last week. I like seeing Android TV reemerging into the conversation while at CES. That's a great opportunity for it. So even more so, if you want something hands-on to take a look at, NVIDIA was there and they showed off the new NVIDIA Shield Android TV box. And a lot of people liked it. It made a lot of the favorites list for CES 2017. Yep. It's smaller, more compact, with the updated Shield controller, remote with mic. It's running Android 7.0, 4K HDR support. Although Assistant is not available at launch, which is unfortunate given the recent news. It's gonna sell for $199 for the 16 gig model, and there'll be a Pro model with 500 gig sold for $299, which I gotta admit is really tempting for me as a big media guy.
Right. That's a pretty good deal for $100 more. Yeah. That's not bad.
Yeah. That's great.
I wish phones would jump that much for $100, but
yeah, right. 500 gigs. It sounds good to me. I think the device looks good. The controller is super like polygons, like from a game. It's almost like pulled from an old school game or whatever. Looks kind of uncomfortable, but people that were there say that it was actually very ergonomic.
Well, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I was going to say, because now when you're buying these devices, they're becoming little art pieces in your home.
Yeah, I know, right?
And I've fallen into that with Google Home, because it is this stylish little, thingy that you put in your house and you can customize it, and I like that.
Yeah, we talked about that last week with the Wi-Fi, with the routers and all that sort of stuff. The idea of industrial design in the home is really broken through, and now it's at the point of I'm excited to see these different device manufacturers outdo each other with better design. It's almost like the world of Wired is finally reaching mainstream, which is
oh my gosh, that's a good point. So, that's a really good point. The
fetish section. So yeah.
And like you said, not at launch with Assistant on Android TV, but that's just because Google's still finalizing Assistant for Android TV. But that'll roll out there eventually. I definitely want to get one of those.
Very excited.
Brian, I know we have some breaking news.
Oh dear.
Oh damn.
It's true. Breaking news starts now.
In the meadow sings a song of satisfaction
We have joining us none other than Gina Trapani.
Gina!
How's it going, Gina?
Hey, friends. How are you?
Happy
Awesome.
300th episode.
300th episode to you all. That's such a huge accomplishment. Congratulations.
How have you been, Gina? It's been a while. You have been into your work. I know you've been super busy. How have you been? We've missed you.
I know. I've missed you guys a lot. I know it's been this weird triple whammy of full-time job and child and time zones. I haven't been around much, and I apologize for that. I've missed you guys so much. I feel like so much has happened in Google world just in the past couple of months. I feel like I'm so behind. But things are good. I'm rocking a Pixel.
Nice.
The most important question was that were you still on Android? Because Gina, I don't know if you know the news, but Jason has forsaken us. He's now on iOS, so we're very upset.
I heard. Wow, Jason, I never thought I would see the day.
You even put it up to your face.
iOS.
Oh, let me check my watch. I've got some.
That ain't right. That just ain't right.
Luckily it's just temporary. But so Gina, you got the Pixel. What do you think of it? Do you like it?
I love it. I got to tell you, I was really tempted to go iPhone this time around. Not because I don't have Android, But it's been many years since I've been on iOS. Like for a while, I was doing like 1 year on and 1 year off just to kind of keep, on top of like the industry and how the operating systems were differing. But when I was doing the show, I was all Android. I was super tempted by the iPhone this time around because of the camera, especially. But then the Pixel came out, and I was like, I couldn't stop myself.
The camera is just as good. Oh my god.
Really, it's really, really good. I don't regret it. I don't regret it. I love it. I'm digging the Pixel. I didn't get the XL. I got the regular size. Digging it.
Excellent. Yeah, and the video, like especially, my pictures and my video are always of, kids, basically, fast-moving kids. And year after year, it's always been super frustrating because I feel like the camera can't keep up with them. But I don't feel that with the Pixel. Definitely.
That's all I used in New Zealand was the Pixel, and I don't regret it.
Yeah.
It was like all the picture. Oh God. The pictures are so good. I'm still impressed. Good job.
I'm impressed because you're impressed.
GG.
In New Zealand, you just stick your camera out the window and you've got really gorgeous there.
Wait. So not to change the subject from phones, but Flo just said GG, and that reminds me, Gina, you might not be aware, but you are the captain of Team Guest, as you know, right?
That's right.
Your emeritus status of being the captain of Team Guest after moving on from co-hosting duties. Last year, the Guests won the arena. So congratulations, Gina. Your team won.
Yes.
You 2016 baby. GG. I gotta get back on more. We gotta get this Team GG momentum going. So does it mean that everyone has won a year at this point?
Flo,
except Flo.
Oh, Flo.
It's a broken heart.
2017's all yours, Flo.
Yeah, I think it has to happen.
It's time.
Wait. But Gina, have you heard about, the change?
There's been a change.
Changes.
I mean,
rest in peace, Bowie.
2016 was a big year. A lot of change influenced as we went into 2017. The arena now has a new scoring methodology where basically instead of just one winner and everybody else loses, each level of first, second, third, fourth place has a certain amount of points assigned to it. So even if you don't always end up with a first place throughout the course of the year, let's say you're consistently second place, that can still propel you ahead.
Oh boy.
And so
I like it.
There are changes.
I like
Up
it.
in the stakes.
Up in the stake, come a little extra complexity, but maybe a little bit more fair. I like the consistently solid second place apps. I like that idea that those can win. I like it. Good change. Upgrade.
So Gina, by the way, your first episode full time was episode 91.
Oh my gosh.
Look at the hair.
Wow.
Bangs, Jason's hair,
Holy cow.
Ron's sideburns.
Here's a fun fact. I wore that hoodie today.
Wait a minute, you're still wearing that hoodie every day, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay.
Wait, is it the same hoodie or you keep buying it from the
It's the same hoodie. It's the same hoodie.
Good for you.
In this episode, Gina, you say that you're rocking a Galaxy Nexus, as I think we probably all were at that point.
Oh, look at the 7.
Trello.
Yeah.
Trello was Gina's app.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Changed. Wow.
That's
wow.
crazy.
And it's funny because they just got purchased by Atlassian. Yeah,
that's right.
It's crazy.
Full disclosure, sponsor of the network. But yes, they just got bought by Atlassian.
Good purchase by them. Yeah.
Indeed.
Galaxy
Indeed.
Nexus 7, of course, also, which we were all, that ship lasted a long time. Logitech Review. Remember that one?
Oh, wow. The TV box, right? Yeah.
Oh, that thing was terrible.
Yeah.
Bad, right? Retrospect. Right? Let's be honest. It was pretty bad, right?
It was.
You even said it on that first episode. We asked you about you mentioned the review, and you were just like, man, I have to restart it every couple of, 2 times every time I want to use it. And
bad relationship. That's how I feel when I think about the Logitech review.
So is this, okay, so
I found the distribution
platform.
numbers for that episode in 2013.
Wow.
Froyo was at 9%.
9%, still holding on there.
Look at the ridiculous disparity between gingerbread, ice cream sandwich, and jelly bean.
Yep.
Things are, Android
things are
it's just fractured.
We still see the same.
Oh, for sure.
Pattern.
Well,
Pie
no,
chart
now the thing is that list is at longer than it was even there. Like we said at the beginning of this, God, that hair. I can't concentrate when I see my hair like that.
You know who you look like in this?
What? Who? I'm afraid.
Gaius Baltar from Battlestar Galactica.
Yes. That's a compliment.
No, it is.
He's great.
He has really beautiful hair. So
did he use an iPhone?
They didn't have smartphones in Battlestar Galactica, did they? I totally forgot.
You know, I'm
Six was his robot doing his bidding.
That's true.
And let's see here. So episode 91, your last full-time. I didn't write the episode number down, but it was January 13th, 2015. So you were.
Sorry. It's pretty close.
Yes.
Oh wow! So we're just about at the 2-year anniversary of Gina departing.
Perfect.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's good, Jason.
That's awesome. Good job, Brian.
Yeah, so Gina, you were two solid years, and then that was 2015. So 2 years. Well, I can't do math apparently. I can't.
2 years.
But 2 years on, 2 years off. So we'll make room at the table for when you come back, and it'll be 4 of us at the table.
A third of All About Android was helmed by Gina Trapani. That's awesome. So
yeah.
I'm proud, very proud to say that. I really,
and I'm proud to step in your shoes. Gosh darn it.
You're proud to wear the spectacles that Gina does not own.
I am.
It's left behind the Google Glass. No,
that's right. Gina's era was Google Glass. Flo's era is Snap spectacles. Yes. That's how
I'm sorry for what my people have done this generation.
You're killing it, Flo.
And I'm wearing my T-shirt from Molotov's, where the Google Glass incident happened.
Oh, what? It's all coming around.
It's all connected.
It's all connected.
It really is.
So Gina, tell us a little bit about what. Mind blown. What are you doing right now? What exactly are you filling your time with?
I'm working at a digital product studio called Postlight here in New York. Postlight.com. You can find out more about it there. I'm a director of engineering, and we're client services. We build products in-house, and we build products for clients. And my latest project, I actually built a website for Vice. Vice launched a nightly news show called Vice News, and I built the website, which is news.vice.com. I think the world needs journalism at the moment. Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. We just launched that. And news.vice.com is the site that I worked on for Vice for that client. And then Postlight just launched an internal product called Mercury Reader, which is a Chrome extension that kind of cleans up. You can go to any web page and kind of clean up like ads and clutter and any kind of visual clutter and see just a really clean, easy, readable version of that page. It kind of turns every page into Medium, for better or for worse, but nice for reading web pages. So that's free. So it's been just a lot of fun. But it's a big-ish company for me. It's actually not a big company. It's maybe 40 people, but it's not like 3 people, which I'm used to.
Yeah,
right.
It's like humans and meetings, and like I get dressed and go to a place. It's like very conventional.
That's nice. I have to imagine that aspect is really nice after having after a long time of just
being at home in your pajamas
working out of your home. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's got to be a nice change.
Forcing yourself to leave the house.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. It was like that for a long time. So now I'm, commuting on the subway every day and doing the thing. So
and you're getting cellular service in the subway. This week, right?
Yes. Every station. Every station. It's living in the future, you guys.
I can't wait to come use it. I can't wait to come use it underground.
Which is going to be great because it's been in some select subway lines. And so you get a taste of it. And then the moment you lose signal, it's like, oh, come on. It's the Louis C.K. thing all over again.
You'd pull into that one station and be like, oh, I got to download. Like you think about all the things in the tunnel that you wanted to download while the train was stopped in the station. Yes. So now it's like every station. So it's great. It's great. It's the future.
Wow. Gosh, I don't know. Any other questions for Gina while we have? I feel like we need to pick your brain, but I mean, do you have any products, Google products that you're
did you get a home?
I don't know, pining for? Did you get a Google home?
I didn't, but you guys, I heard you talking about it. You all have homes and the Wi-Fi router. Those are the same. No, those are not the same. Those are the different thing.
But I have
2 separate products. Yeah.
Yeah, I have the Google Wi-Fi. I love it. Did you know you could put a child mode or a family mode so that you can shut everybody off so they can all come to the dinner table
It's
and
like,
not check their.
it's time.
Yeah,
it's
that's
time
cool.
for dinner. There's no more internet. Goodbye.
Wow, no more
Listen,
internet. I like it. I'm gonna
Gina,
do that
love
too.
it.
Gina, you got to get the Google Home though, because it's amazing, but B, and I now I'm beating a dead horse, and everybody in the audience is sick of this, but I hooked it up to turn my Christmas lights on, and it was amazing.
And I programmed mine to talk to me and give me positive mantras when I'm having a bad day.
And
This
I,
is
my
See?
kids do Mad Libs with
Really?
it. So there's that
Cool.
too. Mad Libs.
We all just gave Gina 3 very good reasons to buy Google Home, as far as I'm concerned.
That's all you needed.
I'm way behind. I gotta catch up. I'm gonna get one, and then I'm gonna come back on the show.
Sounds good. We will take that as a promise.
Absolutely.
Although I know you're really busy, and Gina, we really appreciate you taking time to hop on for a little bit and chat with us. And
Thank you so much for having me, and happy 300th episode.
thank you. It's always a pleasure getting you on. Let's keep in touch, obviously, and if we can figure out a time, if your life gets less chaotic and crazy, please come back. We'd love to have you.
Definitely, I will do that. We
miss you.
It's been a privilege to be a part of this. So thanks, you guys.
Thank you. Gina. Sorry, I saw Eileen in the chat room. And I was like, well, sorry. Gina Trapani.
Wow.
Jeez.
That's okay. Hey, that's a compliment.
No. I blame the iPhone, personally. Anything bad that ever happens in my life.
It's completely turned your brain to mush. You realize that's what's happening, right?
Yes, I know. And you know what keeps happening? I keep getting
Ever
these
since you put on that
notifications.
watch, it's slowly seeping the life out of you and your brain cells.
Oh, get it away from me. Gina Trapani, thank you again. We will talk to you
Thanks,
soon, and I promise to call you Gina on the next
Bye,
episode.
Gina. We love
300.
you.
Bye, you guys. Thanks again.
We'll talk to you soon. She's fading. She's fading like Back to the Future.
Your iPhone also did that.
Yeah.
It made Gina
It's
fade
over
away.
there now.
I like the 70s variety show pop-in format of that, where it's like, oh, look who just showed up.
What do you know?
Oh man, I wish we had puppets.
Yeah. Anyway, all right,
We
well,
can work on that.
let's move on.
All right, what's next on news?
Well, we've got just a little bit of a tiddly bit here. A bit. You may have been wondering, hey, when the heck am I going to be able to use Daydream View? Maybe soon. Because guess what, ladies and gentlemen? This phone that my friend Jason Howell is holding right here will be getting Daydream compatibility
That's right.
functionality.
ZTE Axon 7.
Made up that phrase.
That works.
Also following in line is the Huawei Mate 9 and the Huawei Mate Pro. The Huawei Mate 9 is, of course, as we learned last week, coming to the United States of America. It is impending. It is coming. And then if you're interested, the Asus Zenfone AR. And AR, of course, stands for augmented reality. And once you put this baby in a Daydream View, you've got virtual reality. 2 for 1.
Excellent.
Ping, ping.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Bonus.
AR, yeah, you get VR with Daydream compatibility, and you get AR with Project Tango.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to see that while you were there? That's the
Unfortunately, I did not, but I mean, I've played with Tango, and I'm familiar with the library that's coming out, and it's going to be much more kid friendly in the beginning.
Cool. Because
Friendly and education friendly, which, if we think about it, is kind of where Chromebooks was kind of getting its foothold. There's some big plans up ahead. Just got to sell the schools on it first.
Okay. Are you still like super into Daydream?
Okay, let me tell you guys. Over the holiday, I basically strapped this VR headset onto everybody, and I just love so much seeing people try virtual reality for the first time.
Yeah.
Even on something as simple as a phone running it will blow people's minds away. I mean, my buddy Miles trying it, it was like watching a kid in a candy store. I just put the BBC, The Turning Forest, which is just like this beautiful story with this, the dragon and all that. And he just loved it. We lost him in the social setting. So that's the only thing is don't bring it out when you've got a social setting, because
It sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
It's like, seriously,
and then
you haven't
everybody's
tried
like,
this?
So
Here, check it out.
seriously, we're sitting here watching you. We're sitting here watching you. Like,
It's probably
float
not
through
the best
space. This is
social-
not fun. And
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I'm sorry. You're right. Let's okay. That's enough for now. Back to
We'll do
reality.
this one-on-one.
Yeah.
When I'm hanging out with you, then I'll show you the
But think about the future. We're going to be hanging out in real life with Daydream View on our heads, talking to each other inside of a game.
Oh, great.
It's funny because I don't have a Daydream, right? Because I don't have a Pixel and all this sort of stuff. But I went to the Verizon store as we were setting up my niece's phone. I won't say what kind of phone, but still not happy about it. But and young. Verizon had the Daydream there as well as the Samsung VR, right? And I'm like, oh, cool, I'll play with it or whatever. The Daydream was literally glued to the platform, could not even pick it up to look at it, much less put it on my head. Oh. And then the Samsung Gear VR was there. You could put it on your head. There's a phone in it, but it wasn't on. It wasn't charged. Like I was like, wow, way to not sell VR.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's weird because Verizon's supposed to be having like the VR experience to sell you on the phones that can facilitate it.
Literally glued to the platform it was on. Could not. I went to pick it up and the whole desk came up. It was.
So then
you should just put it up.
Yeah. Oh, that's so frustrating.
I know.
That is. It's like remember when you used to go to Circuit City and you want to try it on. You want to try on
try the VR. Try the
consoles.
VR.
The consoles.
In 2005.
And there'll be some darn kid at the console playing it.
It won't let you play your Super Mario or whatever. Yeah, it's true.
Anyway.
They need to figure that out because that's the best way to get people in the door.
I'm sorry, Ron.
VR.
That's not your fault.
Well,
next time you're here.
Anyway.
Next time you're here.
Let's take a minute and thank the sponsor of today's episode. This episode of All About Android is brought to you by LegalZoom. The start of the new year, as you know, is a perfect opportunity to kind of hit the reset button on a lot of things for a fresh start. You can finally get around to doing the things that you've been putting off. That's what a lot of people do right around the new year. And LegalZoom.com is where you can make that happen. So whether you want to take control of your family's future with, let's say, an estate plan, or you finally want to get your dream business up and running, don't let the legal questions be the thing that hold you back. Find something else to hold you back, maybe. Or maybe don't get held back at all. LegalZoom is going to help you kind of plow through those hesitancies and work through what needs to get done. The legal world can be challenging to navigate. That's why LegalZoom has created over 15 years ago to provide you with the tools, the confidence, and know-how to wrap up your legal needs. And since LegalZoom is not a law firm, you don't have to worry about expensive hourly fees. Instead, you're going to get legal advice at flat rates from their network of attorneys in 48 states. LegalZoom really does make this super easy for you to get in there, get what you need done, and move on with your life and carry through these ideas that you have, these things that you've been putting off. They're going to help you with the right estate plan, or they'll answer the questions that you have for running your business, take care of all of that and help you through it. Make 2017 the year you get your life in order. Visit LegalZoom.com. Don't forget to enter promo code AAA at checkout for special savings. That's LegalZoom.com and enter the promo code AAA. Make sure to do that. We thank LegalZoom for their support of All About Android and the Twit Network. All right, now it's time for CES hardware, of which we only have the hardware bumper.
Wait, there's a CES.
Wait a minute. Oh, sorry. No, actually, I realized what I did. I mixed it all together, didn't I? Into a big jambalaya.
Hey, jambalaya is delicious. I'm down.
It is?
CES jambalaya.
It's a CES, another thing.
What is
jambalaya.
Inside this jambalaya, which I worry?
Well, first is the announcement that I think hit today. LG, if you didn't know, been kind of hurting these days. Its G5 modular experiment did not do so well. Kudos for taking a risk, though. I'll give them that. LG announced its upcoming G6 device, its next flagship. There's an emphasis on the screen. I guess with the G5, it was a smaller screen, 5.3 inches. Here, they're upgrading that to 5.7-inch QHD LCD display. And LG says that markets have a preference for consumers have a preference for larger screen devices,
yes.
So they're kind of meeting that demand.
I have a preference for larger screen devices. You're meeting my demand.
There you go.
Also,
you could be an LG customer.
Also interesting to know that I believe the two phones before the G5 were 5.5-inch screens, and they were actually the bigger variants of the flagship Circus.
Right, and then they
So-
kind of went smaller, but they went modular, which was an experiment apparently.
An expensive experiment.
Yeah,
I'm
no
assuming.
kidding. I mean, really, they banked their entire. You're going all in for the entire year on that if this is your flagship, and you do modular, and people don't take to it.
Ooh, yeah.
I love that they did it. I liked the gusto behind it. I just, like with this and then with the Moto mods, whether those are, I don't really think those are taken off, I was really bullish on modular phones and I guess I was wrong,
Yeah. Well,
sad.
Maybe you weren't wrong. Maybe it's just not time. Google Glass
not yet,
happened. And went away because it wasn't time. And then Snap Spectacles came around.
They're very different, though.
They are very different.
They literally just record.
Some of the concerns are it has a camera on it, which was a big concern that people had on the Google Glass.
But it has a giant,
now people are okay with it suddenly.
Rotating.
Right. They did it right.
Yeah.
And the time was right. There was the technology
time is a very important thing. That is a big thing because now we are living in a society where we are our own reality TV shows, and of course,
for better or for worse,
that's what Snapchat is. It's your own reality TV show.
Yeah,
it's just it's less than
YouTube.
YouTube.
And then turn the TV off.
So my husband and I have this conversation all the time because he sees me at 9 o'clock at night. I'm laying in bed with my face mask on, catching up on my Snapchat stories. Oh, what's happening to me?
So no more soap operas, no more watching TV.
I still watch
It's
soap
just
operas.
Everything
I
you,
still watch
everything
soap
you get
operas.
is through Snapchat.
Oh God, I weep for our future.
It's just a different way.
I should point out that this LG device has an 18:9 aspect ratio, which the bottom link in the dock, about halfway down the page, has some comparisons of the screen ratio compared to what we're normally used to seeing in phones. Basically, it's a tall drink of water. Although I don't know if you can dunk it in a drink of water and it would survive, but there you go.
That's another good point.
Oh, no. It's the bottom link. It's the phonearena.com link of the LG thing. Okay, all right. It's in the dock. But anyways, so it's tall, and
how do we feel about the 18.9? I feel like that's the thing that jumped out at me at that is that really you want to introduce a new aspect ratio?
Especially after we kind of started going away from 16.9, it's more like 4.3 now. I was really enjoying the 4.3, especially on tablets at least.
Let's see if you keep scrolling. Is that it?
4.3 is awful, Flo. We should never do 4.3.
Really?
There you go.
Yes. 4.3 needs to go away forever.
Because it's full screen essentially, right?
So taller, narrower.
I don't know about that, but I don't see.
It's tough.
Yeah.
16.9 is just so perfect. I mean, it's a good width. It's a good length. It matches up with video. It matches up with film and all this sort of stuff. Don't introduce new supposed aspect ratios that screw up standards. Yeah.
Is that why we're doing the 18.9? Because we need to have the two little bars at the either ends, top and bottom. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't understand.
I think it's too much.
It's so confusing. Why would you confuse us more? Can't you just release a regular phone?
Well, okay, so
why does that have to be so special?
Well, it's interesting that you say that, all right? So obviously this keeps coming up, and Megan and I are doing this switch. And when this story came up, that was her question is, why do companies feel like they need to differentiate so much like this? Why can't they, we know what most people want is this particular form factor, this particular size. Why do they go outside
egos,
of that?
Jason. It's egos.
No, it's not egos. It's that it's the problem that we've talked about with phones over the past couple of years is that we hit a point where all phone you could cover up the logos on phones and show them to people and they won't be able to tell you what manufacturer is by who. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago, the anonymous China phone and all that sort of stuff. Phones all look the same. So anything that they can do to make theirs look different or literally stand out in a line of phones at the Verizon store, they're going to do, as opposed to, come up with some innovative industrial design over at Nextbit or with the NVIDIA Shield or
the Note 7.
Yeah, right. No, to do something as opposed to doing something simple and like we'll just make it longer. We'll do a different aspect ratio. Give it a unique industrial design. That's why the iPhone stood out when it came out. It didn't look like anything else on the market.
And that's why I liked the Pixel, quite frankly, because it was a different kind of Android phone.
But it looks just like an iPhone. It looks just like an iPhone.
I know, but that's the whole point, Ron.
But I'll give so the Pixel looks just like an iPhone.
Yes.
So what do? They give us really blue. Right. So when you see a really blue phone, you're like, oh, what is that? That's really blue.
That's
right. That was genius.
Yeah, and the other thing I think about with like a quote unquote long phone is I just think about the longer the reach my thumb has to do to the top of the screen.
The one-handed approach.
I already have issues. Like I put all my icons toward the bottom so that I can more easily get to them, It's just my life. Yeah. But I like the big phone.
That's what you get used to.
So it's like
Yeah, maybe it won't be a big deal. Maybe it's much ado about nothing once we get our hands on it. I remember back in 2010, there was an LG, and it was not a smartphone, the LG Chocolate. Do you remember back in that day?
Yes, I remember the LG Chocolate.
And that was, it was like candy bar phone, and that thing had a really long display. I wonder if it's probably similar.
Oh, I did not like that phone. I did not like the phones with those circular navigation buttons on the front.
The earlier version of the LG Chocolate had that. I can't remember if the later one did, but anyways. Yeah. So there you go. All right, Flo, you've got the next one.
Well, yeah, here's another phone that is our next news item. Another phone that I actually think is quite worth its $250 price tag, if only because it is bare bones as phones can get in this day and age. It's a little patchy.
Patchy?
Well, it's patchy because I didn't clean it before the show, so
a little dirty.
That's not a feature.
It's not a feature, no. But this here is the Honor. It's the Honor 6X. So nice budget phone. It's a 5.5-inch display, Kirin 655 octa-core processor, which is just a mid-range processor. We've got 32 and 64 gigs of storage. I believe, if I remember from the spec chart, is the 32 gig is going to be limited to the United States and 64 will be global. But of course, that can all change.
You're right.
Yeah. But there is an expansion slot, so you're fine in that realm. 12 megapixel rear-facing camera with a 2 megapixel brother right there. I actually really like, when I was previewing this phone, I really liked the quality of photos. Look, you're not getting Pixel, iPhone quality, Samsung quality here. You're getting budget quality, but you guys, it's better than what, a Moto G or Moto E will produce for you on Instagram. So as far as I'm concerned, that's a win for a phone that's, maybe just a burner phone for you or just for traveling. Also, a couple other things to keep in mind is the 8 megapixel front-facing camera, which of course has silly little beauty modes that
beauty face. As Samsung
I don't like. So I've actually been starting to sort of judge the beauty modes on the different phones that I've been testing, and I don't like this one because it just blurs you out too much.
Yeah. That's a large part of what beauty mode actually is, right? It's kind of like a select Gaussian blur to a certain degree.
It is, but
on certain features.
This just looks. Here we go. Let's see. I don't know if you guys can see this.
It's kind of hard
but compared to the Samsung phone, they all kind of make you look like an alien in the end.
Yeah,
they do. Like, I would never Photoshop myself that much. Anyway.
Well, but they give you the
option,
the slider, so you can kind of dial it in halfway and not go full board.
So I will say that the nice thing about this phone is that it's got a lot of different camera modes, which is not a thing that you're going to get with a cheaper device. You can do like light painting, kind of basically the same stuff that you can do with the Honor 8, which, by the way, the Honor 8 is only $150 more than this. So...
And more delicate.
And more delicate. Way prettier, though, I will say.
Yeah. Which
also has it's pretty blue. 3,340 milliamp battery pack in this thing. It is, it's your standard run-of-the-mill phone. The gold color is really pretty in person. I will be reviewing it. So we still don't have the software update to EMUI. It's still on 4.1. I believe 5.1 is the one that's coming next, if I remember from my write-up. And that is the one that will bring Nougat to you on the Honor 6X. So it's coming, and they have said that the Nougat beta is out for those who are part of the Honor and Huawei beta program, and I have heard that the interface is a lot nicer than what we have going on now. So
beauty video.
We'll see.
Beauty video. Make me beautiful.
Yeah, that's just another thing about the beauty mode. It's like, really?
Yeah,
like I don't already feel, self-conscious turning the camera on. Granted, I take a lot of selfies, but you know what they say. I don't know what they say.
I don't know. I don't know what they say either.
I don't know what they say either, actually, after that statement. Whew.
They don't say much. Anyway, so...
Wow, there isn't a whole lot of differentiation on the back.
Well, here you go, guys.
What I was just saying.
China versus China right here.
Yeah, this
is what you're working with overseas. So interesting to note is that the Honor 6X will be sold through flash sales for $200. So if you're looking for a deal, that's a steal. Might want to check that out. They're unlocked. As far as I know, this will not work on a CDMA network. So maybe don't hedge your bets on that.
Yeah. I mean, for that low cost, it
feels pretty nice though, right? It feels like a solid phone compared to the plastic, Motos that I would typically.
Yeah, I mean that's what you see now, right? With the low and mid right now, they're building it with aluminum as opposed to the plastic build, and that at the very least gives it a higher level of perceived
That's
quality.
Me knocking on components.
Oh, love the sound of components.
Components.
All right.
So that's the Honor 6X.
Excellent.
Full review coming on AndroidCentral.com, of course.
Fantastic.
Right.
Ron, you've got the next one.
Yeah, so speaking of China, our good friends over at Nokia are reemerging over in China as Nokia Android is here, thanks to HMD Global, who brought the rights to the Nokia branding. I feel bad for the Nokia branding. It's just being passed around like
I know.
It's like a hot potato.
Nokia 6 is the first device from that deal, and it's available in China. It's got an aluminum body with 5.5-inch HD display, Snapdragon 430, 4 gig of RAM, 64 gig storage, micro SD, 60 megapixel rear-facing camera, Dolby Atmos sound, and a 3,000 milliamp battery, as well as a fingerprint sensor. So the Nokia brand is still alive and kicking. This is not, it's not a Nokia phone. It is a Nokia phone, but it's not a Nokia phone. It's it is what it is. They bought a name that people would recognize and are slapping it on a China phone. So
yeah, we were wondering if we were going to see a little bit of that Nokia DNA in the design. Kind of just looks like another Android phone.
It's literally, and this is what's fascinating is that it's, I don't know if people know this happens, but an established brand emerges, has a successful run. There's some value to not only the products they created, but also the brand they created. And then they go out of business. Things don't go as well. And it gets sold off piecemeal. And one of those things that gets sold off is the brand. And that's why, this happened to Sharper Image. Remember, remember the Sharper Image catalog? Sharper Image was a whole thing in the 80s, 90s. Then it got sold off for parts, and now there's a Sharper Image section in Brookstone because Brookstone bought the rights to use that name because people recognize it. It's weird to think of brands as products, but the logo is a product, and that's all this is.
I should have become a trademark lawyer. I'd be rolling in the dough.
Yeah, but a lot of reading, a lot of writing. It's a lot of work.
That doesn't.
Think about. Think about how less time for Snapchat you'd have if you were an actual lawyer.
You're right. I wouldn't have time for my Snapchat. My mama needs her Snapchat stories.
Not just a trademark lawyer, but any lawyer at all. The amount of work involved is
my
just
mother
a
is
lot.
Watching this right now and going, "You could have been a lawyer.
Instead, you're a podcast.
Instead of watching you on TV." Anyway.
All right.
Hi, Mom.
So let's thank another sponsor, why don't we?
Yes.
We want to thank IT Pro TV for sponsoring this episode of All About Android. And listen, opportunities in the tech industry, they're just growing like crazy, exponentially. They're growing faster than any other job market. So there's no time like the new year to start a new career in tech or move up the ladder, but you don't have to go back to school to do it. IT Pro TV is the best way to stay up to date with current IT certifications. IT Pro TV offers over 2,000 hours of content, and more than 30 hours are added weekly. You can stream their courses live and on demand worldwide to your Chromecast, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, or PC. And in fact, they recently launched an Apple TV app if that's how you play. But they are available on Chromecast, which is the key thing to remember here on All About Android. Course topics include certified information system security, professional CompTIA Project Plus, and ethical hacking V9. And they've got some upcoming courses: CompTIA Cybersecurity Analyst Plus, Cisco CCNA CyberOps, Understanding Cisco Cybersecurity Fundamentals, and ITIL Operation Support and Analysis, and Microsoft System Center. So if you're an IT professional, you know what all that means, and you know how valuable it is to be up to date on all of those topics. And IT Pro TV can get you there. Transcripts let you follow from start to finish or jump to any part of the video. Over 100 step-by-step virtual machine labs and transcender practice exams. That's $109 value. IT Pro TV's clients include Harvard, MIT, UCSD, Stanford, and more. So think about the great company you'll be in by taking advantage of IT Pro TV. And you can take advantage of their low monthly subscription price and no hassle cancellation policy. Premium annual memberships are normally $57 a month or $570 per year, but we've got a special offer for All About Android listeners. For a free 7-day trial and 30% off the lifetime of your account, go to itpro.tv/allaboutandroid and use code AAA30. That's itpro.tv/allaboutandroid, AAA30. IT Pro TV is introducing a new membership level on February 1st. All current premium members as of February 1st will be granted the highest membership level available. So take advantage of that. Sign up today. Don't miss out on it. Go to itpro.tv/allaboutandroid and use code AAA30. And we thank them for their support.
All right. Thank you. AAA30 is the code there. All right. We've got more hardware. We don't need it. No, it's fine. It's fine. Flo, you had some time with something called a mercury. What is a mercury?
Yeah, so mercury is not what you eat in fish.
Oh, I thought that it was.
No.
Or is it also something else?
That's a weird direction to take.
I know. I was really thinking about that segue in my head, but it didn't work when I said it out loud.
Have you thought about taking an improv class?
Yes, and I've taken a couple in my life. You think I'd be better at this. Anyway, the Mercury is the pre-production phone from BlackBerry.
Oh, so BlackBerry's still around.
It is still around, and I was trying really hard not to mention.
Wow,
God.
it looks a lot like a car.
Sorry, wrong Mercury.
You're taking me back.
That's an interesting approach to design of a phone to make it look like an old Mercury.
It's like we're very familiar with cars, so it makes sense that we would want a phone that looks like a car.
Well, I was going to say it's interesting that you say it's an interesting approach, Ron.
Yes.
Because they did kind of try to make the phone so it kind of harkens back to the old styles of BlackBerry of yore. But it's not really going all the way back there. It is, how you say, a modern version. In fact, I would have much rather had this phone be in my hand than whatever that monstrosity, the BlackBerry Priv, was that came out last year. I mean, the keyboard on this thing is actually usable. It's also capacitive, so you can use it to kind of like scroll around the interface.
So you swipe over the keys?
You swipe over the keys.
And
the
space
bar
and
is a fingerprint scanner. I mean, that's smart.
Okay.
And look at the edges of this thing. I mean, this harkens back to the Bold days, the BlackBerry Bold days. You've got like the curved corners on the top, or rather the corners on the top and the curved bottom, the U bottom.
Oh yeah, right.
I mean, this is BlackBerry design. Now, the thing that's interesting to note is that the brains behind this is TCL / Alcatel. So Alcatel did pretty good job getting, its business to a nice stable ground from being like the low-end mid-tier phone maker. And BlackBerry looks like the way it's gonna, try and tackle the flagship spectrum.
I think this is interesting because you're right. Had they done this instead of the Priv, I wonder if the nostalgia factor would have worked better in their favor, because not only was it this brand that we all recognize, but here's a phone also that looks kind of like what the old phones that you used to know and love were like. But I still think, even though this is your new phone, and I'm really, really curious to see what it's like when you use it nonstop when you get it.
The thing is, we're not going to know for a while, because here's the thing: Alcatel/TCL, well, I should say TCL, the parent company, believes, the way that I understand it is they're handling the manufacturing and the marketing, and BlackBerry is still handling the software side of things. So you will be getting the BlackBerry software experience, which you can preview yourself with BlackBerry Hub and the
you can
Play
already
Store.
install that on the Android device you already have.
But what's interesting about this is that this is just the beginning of a very long story. So we're probably not going to see too much of it, or maybe we will see it by the end of the year. But from what I understand is that this is just kind of the beginning of a 2-year return to greatness.
Oh, okay.
The
hardware looks
right.
Attempt to return to greatness.
Intent,
precisely.
to return
to greatness. Which
the hardware looks nice.
It really does. It looks nice. It feels really nice. By the way, it's a really solid piece of hardware. It wasn't, the software wasn't fully functioning, so can't really speak on that. But
the keys felt right, because when you had a good BlackBerry device, like the keys, and it just worked.
And you guys, the Priv just felt kind of cheap.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. It felt flimsy. The keyboard didn't feel very good. And, the phone got really hot because of the way that it was built for that slider. I hope this phone doesn't get hot. It's got a nice cushy back to it. I want to say Kevlar.
Okay.
I want to say it's Kevlar.
It's also bulletproof.
Not I don't
keep
think it's
it
bulletproof.
in your breast pocket, and then
it's like it's a soft, squishy stuff, so that it doesn't roll off your car dashboard.
Right.
They're really thinking about it. So
okay.
I'm excited. Obviously, the rest of us are excited in the press, because Android Central, Phone Scoop, Android Police all gave the BlackBerry Mercury Best of CES Awards. And that and it was also a finalist on Engadget's Best of CES. And it won an innovation award from the CES organizer, which I believe is the CTIA. Or not CTIA. Is it? CTA. Nope. I don't. Anyway, the people behind CES. Them. So, it stole the show.
Wow.
Honestly. It was kind of this quiet little, we
would never predicted it. Never predicted that.
Although, Brian, I don't know if you have access to the link in the chat. Bleak did pass us a link to a phone that
this is nice.
An alternative to the car phone.
I saw this a while ago on AliExpress. I've been kind of wanting to buy one as a joke to see.
That's a pretty stylish phone right there.
I know.
If you like to mix cars and your phone together, then you can get this amazing cell phone.
Get it a car phone. You could be like
23.
This would have been my brother's phone when he was 12, by the way.
Awesome. Yeah, exactly. This kind of looks like a Hot Wheel or something.
By the way, it's the CEA that runs CES.
There we go. That's it.
Consumer Electronics
Association.
JJ.
All right,
Ron, you got the next.
One last more. So don't talk about rising from the dead. HTC, while they've been very active in the VR world with the Vive and all that fun stuff, kind of lingering on the phone side, even though the HTC 10 was a wonderful phone last year. But they have an announcement coming up in a couple of days, January 12th. At 3 a.m., they'll be kicking off their announcement, which is all about you, with the letter U, as well as spelling off YOU and other forms, and it ends on a letter U there. So rumors point to a phone that's codenamed Ocean, which is a possible successor to the HTC 10, and some images of the Ocean have leaked. We can take a look at those leaked images to see kind of what it looks like. But you might wonder, It's All About You might stand for USB-C, because it looks like this might be the next phone that has no headphone jack and has a USB-C jack, much like the iPhone. And honestly,
Ron took his improv classes.
I did, didn't I? Yeah, there it is. And so no headphone jack, but also it's got a secondary screen up towards the top near the camera, like the LG G5, which we've seen. So going with that dual screen.
20.
Oh yeah, right.
The V20. Yep.
Oh, maybe that's the one. I got it wrong in the notes. It's the V10.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, the V20, right. But our good friend of the show, EvLeaks, posted an HTC marking video that reveals near the end an HTC Vive branded phone. So could it be a VR focused phone with Vive branding? Maybe
I think it's VR.
So, but it's all about you, not V.
Yeah.
So,
by the way, can I just say that jump from the U to the C in that little video that was shown a second ago?
Yes.
Oh, here we go. Brian's replaying it. It's just what?
That's what it.
Who thought that up?
But it works.
I know it does. I want to hear the board meeting. But
then when I watch that,
the U is actually the C.
Yeah, I know you're going like that. The U and C. Can I just go on the record, by the way, with the whole getting rid of the headphone jack nonsense? That early on, I'm a supporter of it. I think it's the way to go. I hate the dongles, but we got to move forward, and I kind of agree. So there you go. I'm glad HEC is gonna take the hit.
No, Flo, don't say anything. Ron deserves silence right now.
Says the man who switched to the iPhone 7. Well, get out of here.
Well, I did go home last night with my new iPhone 7, and then this morning want to listen to something.
What did your wife say?
Oh, she changed the subject. That's what she did.
Wow.
This morning I wanted to listen to something, but I had no dongle, so I couldn't.
Dongle life.
That's what it's like to live.
I gotta get on the hobby of making like dongle jewelry so you can wear it or whatever.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Nobody steal my idea. It's mine.
Pop it out of your earlobe.
I'm pretty sure HTC already did that. Remember, Jason, back when Eileen was on the show, remember the little HTC dongle that lit up when the phone was ringing?
Oh,
do you remember that thing?
Oh man, yes, I had that phone for a while. Oh, what was that?
Oh, what was that called? HTC light up dongle. Let's see.
HTC light up.
Because if your phone's in your purse,
yes,
right.
It was a. Oh man, that was was that HTC or was it LG?
It was HTC. Guaranteed, it was HTC.
Oh man, somebody in the chat is going to know this.
Help us, someone
HTC
in the chat.
Charm. Thank you, Matt.
Charm. That's what
that was it. HTC Rhyme, HTC Charm. I can't remember. It was one of those two. Yes, because I.
Was the Rhyme the Rhyme is the one they sold at Verizon for the ladies, and they give you all the pink and purple stuff.
And episode 35, was it the 35? Was that it? Because I ended up with that phone somehow. Maybe it wasn't the episode 35.
Oh yeah, and it came with the little.
Yeah, came with the little charm that you could have to.
And I remember reading the specs on that phone. I'm like, oh, how dare they sell this crappy spec phone to women? Oh.
And if memory serves, Jason, we tore into it like there was no tomorrow.
Good.
Okay, so initial thoughts on HTC Rhyme, November 4th, 2011.
It was a pretty
solid. It's a tight, compact phone that feels really solid. It's what I love about HTC hardware. The display is gorgeous, too small for my ginormously careless fingers. Blinking LED for notifications. I love it when it's there. I miss it when it's not. And the HTC Rhyme has it. Picture quality is good, though I haven't put the camera through test since 3.5. Oh, since.
Oh my God,
3.5. Let's see here. Color has grown on me. The more I look at it and use it, the less I see the color as a quote lady color.
Good.
Wasn't it like a burgundy or a purple or something?
It's like a very dark shade of purple, more plummish than anything.
Yeah.
Anyways, I used that for a while because Michael Ludden, friend of the show, Michael Ludden, brought that. I believe he was at HTC for a while. He was like, here, play with this for a while.
And see, it plugged into the headphone jack. You know what? I'm going to find some stuff like that on AliExpress, and I'm going to make my Pixel light up.
Plugged into the headphone jack there. Yeah, you're right.
Hopefully it doesn't have stuff on it that it plugs in. I don't know. Imagining something terrible.
I forgot about the HTC Rhyme.
Oh, man.
No
memories.
Guys.
I know. Memories.
300th episode memories.
This is what happens. Hey, real quick before we get into the arena and towards the end of the show, we've got to dive into apps for one single story. Let's do it. In Hangouts voice news, on the Hangouts side of things, the Hangouts API for third-party developers is being shut down. effective April 25th. Apps relying on those APIs will stop working properly then, and this will further detangle Hangouts from Google+. The API was actually originally intended to support social scenarios for consumers, consumer users of Google+. And Hangouts is now kind of turning towards an enterprise use case and being de-emphasized in certain ways. So this kind of seems to be part of that. Is this... I don't know. How important is this? I couldn't tell how important this was. I mean, I haven't used many third-party plugins.
Same.
Yeah, you can read into this a lot of ways. You could read into this, is this the beginning of the sunsetting of Hangouts towards the enterprise wonderland? You know, when an app ends its time with us, it goes off to a farm called the enterprise, like and we're going to live a lovely life. But so that could be that. It could be just the pulling services away from Hangouts in favor of Allo. It could be interpreted like that, but I think basically it's just truly what they say, which is the detangling from Google Plus to enable Hangouts migration to the enterprise. I don't think that I don't really know how much dependency on this API other apps and things like that use, but the fact that something that is now open is now going away is kind of a big deal, I think. So
yeah, so I guess these APIs were mostly used for more social, less serious flavor for Hangouts, which included stickers and doodles and even those AR overlays. Doodles. But they have no place in an enterprise world because business people are boring.
And they're serious. And all they want to do is connect with video and talk about boardroom stuff. Yep. That's
so
exactly
glad I didn't become a lawyer.
Yeah.
Just kidding,
sorry,
lawyers.
Mom. Sorry, Mom.
Somewhat really sorry to let you down. I'm just a podcaster, but whatever. Related news, some Google Voice users say that a message is appearing on the Google Voice site, the horribly outdated Google Voice site.
That I still use.
Saying, try the new Google Voice. Google told The Verge that a new update is in fact coming, but that the site was updated prematurely. No update timeline is given. So all we know is that something's happening, and that's all we got. I mean, there's like Google Voice Project Phi kind of tentacles.
Is this the year of like resurrection? Yeah.
Resurrecting the dead in Google services. Is Google Reader coming back?
I mean, not just Google. Oh, God, that would be amazing. That would be. We'd have.
That would make a lot of people happy.
That would make me so happy.
Yeah.
I just wonder, we got Blackberries, one coming around.
2017, the year of the raising the dead of Android.
Yeah,
something along
precisely.
Those lines. Email, Ron.
All right, we got one email. Important to hear from you, the listener. Dave Duncan writes in and says, glad you guys are doing the new point system for the arena. I've been hoping for something like that lately. Someday down the road, you should discuss occasionally doing themes for given arenas, games, productivity, launchers, utilities, etc. That could be interesting. And you're right, Dave. It could be interesting because we did that originally back in the day when the show first started, Jason. You remember that? Talk about memories of 300 episodes. I believe within our first year or two with Eileen, we would try to have themed based arenas. And then we eventually dropped it because it just got too limiting and or difficult and or challenging within a category, but maybe we bring it back because a lot of years have passed and there are a lot of different options. So we can discuss that, but I'm glad you're liking the point system. We are too.
I don't know. We'll see if I like it.
I mean, I will say that's partially what I do on the other show, whose name shall not be spoken on this show.
Yes, true, yeah.
Although I will, Android App Arena.
I'm more accepting of Android App Arena because it's still at least Android and not that dang phone in your hand right now. All right.
Are you talking about this thing right?
Oh, no. The smell.
Remember, you have to give that back to Megan.
I know, I'm not putting a display down. I don't want to scratch it any more than it already is. So anyways, we do kind of themed episodes on Android App Arena. And I will just go ahead and tell you, it's not easy. Like, because when you're comparing apps to each other, I think this was why we switched away from it. It was always one of us picking an app that was like less than ideal because it fulfilled the requirement of the arena. And then when you're talking about them, app versus app versus app, there's so much same that it's kind of not as fun to listen to or to watch because it's like, yep, here, this one has that feature too. And it just ends up being a little bit more stale as a result.
Don't you want to be entertained?
Yes. That's why we're here, right? To entertain you.
Yes.
And to inform you about all the things that are happening in the Android world because that's...
While entertaining you?
While entertaining you.
With witty banter?
There we go. Dun, dun, dun. All right. So I think we beat that horse to death.
Yes, we did. Rest in peace.
But there we go. Good. I appreciated this email because it's like, what a great idea. We did that in the beginning, but we've changed. We've evolved so much over the course of 300 episodes.
Like the storm is evolving outside.
Yeah, the lights are flickering and everything.
Yeah, just BG Dubs, the safety lights were flickering.
Yeah.
So
power could go out. Just warning you. Real quick before we jump into the arena, let's hope the power stays on at least for the next 5 minutes. This episode of All About Android is brought to you by ZipRecruiter. They are the sponsor of this episode. It's the new year. That means a fresh start for your business, and a great year starts with making great hires. You got to find those great hires, and that is a challenge. It can be a challenge anyways when you're posting willy-nilly all across the internet manually. It's not easy. But posting your job, like I say, in one place, that's not going to be enough to find all those quality candidates because they're everywhere across the internet. If you want to find the perfect hire, you're going to need to post your job on all of the top job sites. And with ZipRecruiter, now you can do that, and easily. With ZipRecruiter, you can jumpstart your hiring in 2017. All you got to do is post your job and with ZipRecruiter, and that's going to post to 200 plus job sites, including social media networks like Facebook and Twitter, all with a single click. So you're going to find candidates in any city or industry nationwide, no limits there. You just post one time, and then you'll watch. Your candidates are going to roll into ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface for you to pick from. No more juggling emails or calls to your office. You can quickly screen candidates with real-world questions that you set up using freeform, multiple choice, yes-no formats, view candidate responses. That's in conjunction with beautifully formatted resumes that you'll receive. You can rate them and hire the right person fast because that is what it's all about. That's critical here. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by over 1 million businesses. Right now, you can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/twit. That is ZipRecruiter.com/twit. And we thank ZipRecruiter for their support of All About Android and the Twit Network. And without further ado, it is time for the second of many arenas in 2017.
So many enter, but only one lives. Android Arena.
So my strategy for the year is to keep it in a nice second place.
Is that your strategy?
You can't win that way though. You gotta go. You gotta go for first.
Win. You start at second, and then I start barreling, and then I start barreling. So we'll see.
Okay.
All right.
We'll see what happens.
Okay.
I gotta bring the game.
So I love so just a quick applause to Mr. Wade County in the chat room because even though we haven't gone over it, he's already on board with the new system and already calculating. So thank you, Wade. Thank you.
You are
thank
the
you,
best.
Wade.
Thank you for all that you do.
We are quite literally lost without you.
Without him. Seriously, when he's not here, it's just like, there was another
the wheels
arena.
fall off. Yeah, the wheels fall off entirely. And hey, 425 responses. That's pretty solid, I got to say, for a start with the new system.
What is going on with the guests?
Well,
let's
get to it.
We gotta stop letting guests on the show.
This is the part of the new system, right? Safe in Cloud was Derek's entry into the arena, and I gotta say it was a pretty nice entry. 42.2% of the votes came in for that, so first place. That's 5 points right there. Fast Key Launcher was Ron's app, second place, 30.4%. That gives Ron 3 points. My app was Screens Multi-Window Manager. Didn't do so hot, 27.4%. That gives me 2
What are we
points.
using now, by the way? Sorry,
Google
guys.
Google Forms.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
And it allows us to do some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, it's not as big in terms of showing the percentages as the polls in Google Plus, but it's pretty neat. It shows you can see how many people voted for each one, the percentage, not bad. So
yeah.
So a great way to keep the guest from winning is to just not have a guest in the arena.
We thought we'd start this like every other episode, not have a guest, and then we can ensure that one of us wins. Is that
Yeah.
Is that legit?
Sounds evil, but yes.
Sounds evil, but I approve. Okay, well, I will start it off because I'm the big loser, and then
And you were also the tallest.
that's how we rate these things, is by height. My app. So my app is called In Progress. It's a very low install app. Here, I'll go ahead and pull it up here. And let's see how many
I don't
installs.
like that. I don't like the first thing on your list today.
I think there's between 500 to 1,000 installs. So this is super indie here. It's free. Basically, In Progress is a body tracker. This is one of those apps that you can create a new thing. So let's go create a thing that'll go like that. And then there it is.
Look at that silhouette.
I know. So what it's meant to do, what its purpose is, and what I'm using it for are two different things. What its purpose is to create over time progress of something that you're doing. So let's say you're going to the gym or whatever, or you're trying to, you're losing weight
gains.
or,
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. Or you want to track how old you look day after day after day or whatever. So you can see I took that picture. It's really hard to show with the angle of the camera right now, but I can line it up so that over the course of day after day, I could take another picture, line it up properly, and then I'll change it a little bit. Sorry, I'm going to give you some ammo here. And then I'll change it. So the idea being day after day, I would line this up. I'd open it up and line up to my last picture that you see here. And then what that creates, let's go ahead and go back, is an animated GIF that over time kind of tracks how you change over the course of however many days or years, whatever. You could create a GIF out of that, save it out, and have that. I thought it might be good to capture how things go with my switch from Android to iPhone. So this is totally, a documentary look at my evolution. This is when I got the iPhone. Yeah, things are pretty good. Oh man, things are kind of weird. Not really. And yeah, this is kind of where I got to. And we'll see how this evolves over time. Maybe I'll start becoming more joyous and joyful.
I would actually like to see your 30-day progress.
I'll just do pictures of my face over the course of 30 days, and at the end of 30 days, I'll have like bags under my eyes and stuff.
It's all right. I'll equip you with some nice little iPads or something to help.
Good.
After the fact.
iPads.
Surplus of iPads?
Not iPads.
What are you telling us right now?
Jason, what you do is you take the iPads and you push them up against your face and the glass.
No. I meant moisturizing eye patches. Moisturizing eye patches.
iPadches.
Well, they're pads. You wet them and stuff.
iPads. Anyway. I see what you're saying.
Just walked right into that one, Flo.
Yeah.
That wasn't even intentional. Darn it.
I know.
Anyways, cool way to kind of build
that is
track your progress over time.
And that is how you improv.
Yes. You've taken lessons, I see, since 20 minutes
Ron
ago.
taught me everything I need to know.
You learn so quickly. Anyways, it's called In Progress Body Tracker. It's a cool little way to track things like this. Maybe your progress in fitness, or maybe when you switch from one phone platform to the other to see how you fare over time.
Or the general discoloration of a shirt over time as you wash it with hard water in your laundry machine.
You might want to track that. This is how my favorite new shirt looks when I bought it from the store.
And
this
now?
is how it looks a year later because I wear it literally every other day.
That's work from home life. What can I tell you?
Yeah. There you go. All right. In Progress Body Tracker. Support indie developers. All right, Florence, you're up next.
Oh, that's me. Man,
That's
it's
you.
weird when you say my full name.
Sorry, sometimes I do because I look here and it says Florence.
No, it's
I don't know
okay.
why.
That's my name.
It's kind of how I look at the chat room and say Eileen when I'm saying goodbye to Gina. It's kind of the same thing.
That was the best.
It's okay.
I've already apologized to her.
It's 300th episode,
in email.
of course,
Yeah, lots happened today. Go.
So my app is called Pigments. And the reason I found it today is because I was looking for beautiful watercolor wallpaper apps, but I found this. It's a watercolor game, and it's quite pretty. It's very easy to play. However, y'all better know your primary colors, because if not, you're going to have a hard time with this game.
Okay.
Swipe left to play. So here we go. So we've got we're on a time crunch, so I need to move this.
55.
So
54.
your job is to connect the primary colors that make other colors, whatever that combination is.
Oh, God.
And you need to make like the longest chain of other colors, which I realize sounds slightly confusing when I'm explaining it to you, but I promise that once you're playing, it starts to make more sense. So the more like chains of same colors that you create, the more time that you buy yourself. That sort of thing.
Oh, okay. So you're just matching colors, and then once you've got enough lined up, you want more of a chain to swipe through.
But you can't match primary colors. So primary colors will not save you in this situation.
Oh.
So, like, I can't swipe down on all these blues.
Why not?
Because,
that's
and
the game.
see, I kind of didn't do it very well. Like, I should have made actual chains of colors.
1, 0, done.
You know, and then when you're done, you have like a nice score. This is, I'm very much into these games that you can play one-handed when you're kind of just waiting for the train or waiting for your flight or whatever. And this is, this is a fun little game, and it's really pretty. I just love the colors. The more that you advance, the more
I like the
that
watercolor kind of look.
Yeah, I like the watercolor look too. It's very en vogue.
It reminds me of like a more arty 2 dots.
Yeah,
or,
that's
like that sort of thing. Yeah.
Also, my hand is getting a little.
These little like pass the time commuting games are so like I've realized how dependent I am now when I'm on the subway or whatever. Just have something to keep your brain kind of functioning while I'm listening to a podcast or something like that. It's kind of fun. So
yeah. Especially when the people watching is boring that day.
Yeah.
That is
all right. Well then,
Pigments.
That's Pigments. Is it is it free?
It's free. It's free, y'all. It's free. It's in the Play Store. It's a beautiful game. It's an easy game to play.
Totally free.
I like beautiful games, especially beautiful, quick games.
When I play games, I like them to be beautiful.
Unfortunately, I never did become much of a watercolorist.
But now you don't have to because you've got a video game.
That's true.
Thank God they made this game.
All right, that is Pigments in the Play Store.
Yes.
Ron, you're up next, and I
Yes.
have it installed, I think.
Okay, cool. I also made a little note for you in the thing, which is annoying, but I'll try to talk about it. But maybe Brian can just show up the Google Play Store page instead of showing the app. But so this is right now. So this is a rare opportunity, folks, because this is an app that I stumbled upon. I was searching for new apps, and as of right now in the Google Play Store, this app only has 10 to 50 installs. So we're like bleeding edge right here. And it's got a weird name, but I really like the concept. The app is called GeoPickle, which is kind of silly. But what it is it's actually a location-based photo app that allows you to crowdsource time lapses anywhere in the world. So the idea being is that if there's something interesting in your life or in your world, in your neighborhood or something like that, take a picture of it, place a little marker on the map, and then as other people who use this app stumble upon it, they can take a picture, and they have a neat little overlay for your camera so you can line up so you get the same angle and the same kind of thing, right? And then what presumably would happen is that over time, you'd have an interesting time lapse to see how that spot changes over time. Right? That's pretty cool, right?
It's just like the app Jason had, except it's for buildings.
For like the real world, yeah. So what's really interesting is that you can use this just as like they've got. Okay, so Jason's got it there.
Work.
Work. Please work.
You can do it, GeoPickle.
Come on,
be a good pickle.
Come on, you can do it. All right, here we go.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, cool.
We're in.
So now,
we're in.
Okay, so now keep in mind that barely anybody's using this, so it's nothing but potential. But it looks like the people have been they seeded some stuff in Oakland, right? And when you see a location, they're putting in some historical stuff in there, so that there are these are notable buildings or things like that. They're trying to seed the kind of they're trying to feed the beast. But if you tap away from that, Jason, to the right or the left, to the right or left of the white. Just on the edge. There you go. Okay, hit the hamburger menu there. Okay, and go to pickles.
I love pickles.
And no, actually, wait. I'm sorry. Go in the lower left-hand corner. There's a way to pull up stuff that's actually already pre-existing. The lower left-hand corner, the dots there. Yeah, there we go.
Ooh,
okay,
visible pickles.
Yeah, there it is, right? And so there you can see kind of other ones that are available. And then what's neat though is that if you search, I want to find one that's actually got video in it because you can see. And I saw one. Go to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
oh, that's neat.
Can you do this with Disneyland?
Sure. I mean, I don't know if they've done that at Disneyland or not. Now, for some reason, Jason, when I go to that same menu, I get a spot in Chicago that's like an intersection, and it's actually where they've actually done this. Do the tap away from it. There you go.
Get out of there.
Yeah, go back. Okay, back. Okay. All right, so go to Visible Pickles and go to up top. Nope. Under GeoPickle, so Visible Pickles, that menu right there. Tap that.
Newest.
Now go to newest. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There it is. Yeah. Open. So hit the upper right hand one. So that's a spot in Chicago, Lakeshore Drive, and they've taken a bunch of pictures from that spot, so you can see the time lapse of that road over. This has been over 2 days, so January 8th to January 9th. So this shows you the potential of what
this one has.
Yeah. So this gives you a little more activity going on with it. Oh. So yeah, so it's a neat way to interact with camera as well as location. They put in a neat historical aspect to it. So whether there are buildings that have been there for a long time, you can see how they've changed over time. But more so, like if you got something in your neighborhood, keep track of what it looks like over the year, and that's kind of a fun way to play with it. So
I love this.
Cool.
Especially if they're shoving condos into your neighborhood.
Well, that's yeah.
Oh, sorry, too close to home.
All right, so that's called GeoPickle, and it is free in the Google Play Store, and it's the kind of thing that needs users. So if you're into this, definitely give it a shot, give it a try, get involved in the community.
Get yourself into a pickle.
Yeah. So to explain, I feel like I need to explain the pickle thing though. So like if within the app, hang on a second, I pulled it up earlier. There you go. It's loading again. So under their about page here, it explains why it's a pickle. So they have the definition. A pickle is a verb. Update a picture with the present perspective. I pickled the Fox Theater. Or a noun, a picture over time, a crowdsourced time lapse. Wow, I'm actually in a pickle. So there it is.
Or a pickle. So I'd like a pickle right now.
Further down, they explain a picture preserves a moment. A pickle reveals how a space has changed. So there it is. So help document the world around you with GeoPickle, free in the Google Play Store.
Nice, love it.
And gonna win the arena next week. What?
That is super cool. Ron just put both of us in a pickle. You realize this, right? All right. bit.ly/AAA vote 300 for 300 episodes. By the way, did you know today's 300th episode of the show?
Hey guys, did you know today's the 300th episode?
Don't forget to like and subscribe. bit.ly/AAA vote 300 to place your vote for the best app in this
of
arena.
The 300th episode.
In progress, body tracker, pigments, or GeoPickle. Place your vote. We'll check in on it. But
wait, Brian,
it's important. Did you vote for?
Brian, you voted already?
Oh, was I not supposed to?
No, you're supposed to wait till they do the whole.
Oh,
man, it's a shtick.
I'm still figuring out this new system.
It's a new system. Okay, we'll give you that.
Okay.
But we got to watch you vote. Otherwise, we don't know.
Yeah,
there could be.
Who do you favor?
Oh.
So clearly today he favored Ron.
Maybe.
Well, it's a good app. It's a good app.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. There we go.
Fine.
There we go. All right, 300 episodes coming to a close right now.
Whew. You know what next week is?
Yeah? 301?
God.
Yeah, I know. It's the start of the next 300.
That's the thing is that it just never ends.
Yep.
That's the thing. When you're 300 episodes in, you just can't take a week off. It just never stops.
It never stops.
So, luckily Flo won't be here next week, so she doesn't have to deal with it.
I was not gonna say anything.
Yeah, so Flo, you're not going to be here next week.
No,
What's
I'm really sorry.
That's okay. We have
really not.
Oh, sorry.
Really not helping with your arena chances there, Flo.
That's true.
Who do we have on the show next week?
Russell Ivanovich, Material Podcast, Pocket Casts.
All right, okay.
Yes. Many fans of this show listen and subscribe through
What
Pocket
if I
Cast,
send a doppelganger?
I'm curious to know what you'll send. So yes, I'm really curious to know what will end up at the Twit studio.
TaskRabbit doppelganger. Do you look like me?
Just give her the spectacles and make.
We won't know the difference. We'll be like, oh,
stay on Snapchat the whole time. It'll be fine. Just talk about your makeup. It'll be good.
See, we've already figured it out for you. Flo, tell people what you want them to know.
Well, you guys, of course, you can read me and my stuff at androidcentral.com and on Twitter at OThatFlo. That's FLO, no W. I'm also on Snapchat at the same username. And this weekend, I'm doing something super fun. The episode isn't coming out yet, though. So maybe I shouldn't tease it, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I am going to record a guest spot on my favorite podcast besides this one.
Is it a 90210 podcast?
Yes. I am officially going to be a 90210 expert as of this weekend.
On what show?
On The Blaze, the 90210 podcast with Lizzie and Kat.
Oh.
Is this a big deal, Ron?
It's a pretty big deal to me.
Yeah, it's a big deal for her.
Okay.
So the episode isn't coming out for a couple weeks because we just started season 4. But when it does come out, I'll let you guys know.
You were merely a fan, and then at one point you crossed over. How did the crossover?
At one point she told them she was a fan.
That's what I mean. That was my question. How did that crossover happen?
Hey, Lizzie and Kat, I'm a really big fan. You know that episode where Brandon goes to San Francisco to see Emily Valentine? I could come on the show and talk about it.
Oh my God.
Did you go to the location? I told you where it was.
I did. I have not had a chance to go to the location because I have not been home. Like I've been traveling.
Oh, come on, Flo. Are you dead? That was the first place I went to when I moved to San Francisco. I'm like, where's Emily Valentine's apartment?
To be fair, I haven't even been to Alcatraz and I've lived here for 30 years. So.
Oh well.
Neither has Jason.
Blink, blink.
I'm gonna check my notifications on my iPhone
God. 7. Ron, what are you up to?
All right. Well, while you're going to be on a podcast talking about one of my favorite websites, one of my favorite TV shows, I'm doing a podcast about another one of my favorite TV shows that you should check out. Go check out a Damn Fine Podcast at damnfinepodcast.com, where me and Tom Merritt are talking about Twin Peaks. It's a very exciting week. Yesterday they announced the release date for season 3 is May 21st. Woo-hoo. So I spent all day today adjusting our schedule to make sure we're about to finish up season 1. In fact, tomorrow's episode features a guest. We've got Sarah Lane on the show.
Oh, I know her.
Friend of the yeah. So
friend of the show.
So we're going to be wrapping up season 1 tomorrow and then going right into season 2 and then right into season 3 in May. It's a very exciting time for Damn Fine Podcast. So please go check it out, subscribe, listen, watch the show, enjoy it with us, and follow me on Twitter at RonXO. That's what I've got going on.
So how will it time out in comparison to when the new episodes begin?
No. So basically, in May we're gonna have to double ship episodes. Where instead of going weekly, we're gonna go bi-weekly to catch up. Because we also want to put in, we want to cover Fire Walk with Me, the movie.
Of course.
So we're gonna we got about like 4 or 5 episodes of season 2 that we're gonna have to double ship plus Fire Walk with Me, and then we've got an exciting thing planned for the premiere day. It's gonna be great. So if you're a Twin Peaks fan, this is it's gonna be an amazing year, and I'm really nervous because I really hope it's good. Everything seems like it's good. Deadline reported that Deadline broke the news about the premiere date, and they said that David Lynch just basically shot an 18-hour movie. And then they went back and figured out how to break it up into episodes. And so just the idea of an 18-hour Twin Peaks movie just makes me so happy. So, so it should be really interesting.
18 hours of anything is a really long time.
I love it. It's a genius. Did you see Joe Jodorowsky's Dune, that documentary?
No.
Oh, well, so Alejandro Jodorowsky, yeah, you should. Jason, you really should actually, because it's all about creativity and all this stuff. It's amazing. But Alejandro Jodorowsky is an amazing filmmaker, writer. He's done a bunch of comic stuff. French dude, and he wanted to make Dune, the movie Dune, in the 70s, and he basically hired a bunch of artists, conception. They made a Bible that was this thick of the storyboard of all the movie, and he came to Hollywood to pitch it. And they're like, okay, tell us about your adaptation of Dune. He's like, okay, well, first, it's 6 hours. and he couldn't get it financed, and the movie never happened.
Weird.
So I feel like now David Lynch is doing what Jodorowsky couldn't do.
Right.
And
okay.
ironically, David Lynch went on to direct the Dune movie in the 80s. So look at that.
Okay, Ron. So I've been listening to Damn Fine podcast. And
have you?
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it actually. And although when you said Dune, the first thing I thought of was that was the first movie you mentioned David Lynch doing. Which then Tom jumped on you a little bit for that, but that was fine.
Exactly.
No, it's like sincerely have been really enjoying the podcast you guys are doing. So keep
excellent.
up the good work.
And Padre actually nominated you to come on the show, so I'll be emailing you about that later on because we're gonna need guests. So we'll definitely have you on, Brian.
Oh, I'll be a friend of the podcast.
Yes,
friend of the show.
That's all it takes. Yeah. Once you're in, you're in.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm totally down. I love Twin Peaks, and I think you guys are doing a great job with. You're not just like recapping episodes. You're pulling out little points that I never even noticed watching the show, and I binge watched it, so I was able to follow along a little bit better than trying to watch back in the day like you guys did.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying I don't want to just sit there and recap an episode. Like that's just boring. Like, so we want to add more to it. Like whether it's facts or information or just our analysis. So just having fun with it. That's all.
Nice. Well, congratulations on that. And it's nice to have an actual date to target.
Yes,
and,
it is.
Although it sounds like extra work for you, but good work.
That's fine. It'll be fun. We're doing it anyway. It's for the love.
Excellent.
We're doing it live.
Brian, what about you?
Well, I don't have a camera or anything, but you can follow me at cranky_hippo. And me and Padre just got back from CES. Somehow survived without.
I saw you there.
I know. I barely got to talk to you though.
I barely got to talk to you.
It was a blur. It really was. It was my first CES. Didn't know what to expect. There was some cool stuff. The glucose. There's a glucose monitor wristband that I liked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's overwhelming. It really was. And it was compressed into a short amount of time. But check out our No House special. We do that Mondays and Thursdays. And that's about it.
Sweet. I feel complete now because I put my Apple Watch back on my wrist.
Well, that about marks the end of our show. We'll see you next week.
Yep. Where's the
It's going to be a long month.
Good night, everybody.
Come back. We have to tell people where to go to follow the show. If you want to follow my crazy capers around this weird iOS experience, follow me on Twitter at Jason Howell, about.me/Jason Howell for all my other things, basically. But that is it. Real quick, we have twit.tv/store. If you want to find Twit merchandise, you can do that. We've got a bunch of designs, t-shirts, mugs, sweatshirts, new designs happening. Hopefully at some point, and I'll just keep saying it until it happens, hopefully we can get All About Android logo of some sort on some merchandise. That would be really sweet. Or maybe even Arena on a shirt. Get the Arena.
Or just Ron's face. I would suffice. I would love a shirt with Ron's face.
No one needs that.
No. What we need is Ron wearing glass going like this. And on the back it would say, "Holy cow."
No.
That's what we need.
No one needs that. No one needs it.
Or this on a t-shirt.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that too.
Guy's Baltar.
Probably would have worked a little bit better with the long hair, but anyway.
Or that one.
Oh man!
Now this
the
is
only good thing to happen in 2016.
So many options.
We've got a lot of ammo to work with, but there we go. That is it for this week's episode 300 of All About Android. Really appreciate you guys sticking through and being around for 300 episodes. We've had a lot of fun with this show, and we plan to continue that. Voicemails can be left 347-SHOW-AAA. Send an email or video mail to AAA@twit.tv. Find us on Twitter at Android Show. We have a subreddit, twitAAA.reddit.com. Show notes and past episodes can be found at twit.tv/AAA. You can also find our episodes on YouTube, iTunes, Pocket Cast, all over the map. And you can catch us live every Tuesday around 5:30 p.m. Pacific, twit.tv/live. That is it for this week. We'll see you next week for another 300 episodes of All About Android.
I forgot to put on my specs!
We're better off.
All right, fine. You got your specs. Fine. And you're even recording a video. I'm so impressed.
She's been recording this whole time. That's the funny thing.
We should release it.
Yeah.
That should be the episode.